All right. Since you brought up Maya Angelou, this is absolutely one of my all-time favorite pieces. So we're going to take a moment and actually listen to the piece. Do you mind if I read it?
No, please do.
Okay, and then we're going to talk about, because what I get a sense from you is that I Rise was handpicked by you because you were rising again in the music.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's read this piece. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise.
Yes.
Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I will rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hand. 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines, digging in my own backyard. Whew. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your heartfulness, with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I rise.
Amen.
Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Oof. Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Such a powerful poem by Dr. Maya Angelou.
Oh my God, anytime I get a chance to read that poem.
Yes, and you get chills.
It's just an incredible piece.
Amazing.
And in this moment in time, it's actually even more poignant to my black brothers and sisters who are trying to rise up.
Yeah.
I suggest that you take James Baldwin and Maya Angelou's advice and try to do it in a more formulate way that is not so random. Hear the love in all that you do. I'm sitting with Dulce. So you chose this as your first piece. So like I was saying before I read the poem, and thank you for indulging me to read this piece, because I just love this piece. It's so powerful.
Thank you.
I Rise. Were we're kind of jumping around in your life.
That's fine.
You've already become a producer of music.
Yeah. After that, I officially became a producer. Like, first track is not the best of your body of work, of course, but it saw the light, and it allowed me to also explore the production of the visual side of the music business, because I produced the video, like from scratch, everything. And we released it, and we threw a party to release the video, and even working with my sister, she was super professional and doing the choreography and rehearsals and the wardrobe and the hair and makeup and all that. It was to go full circle for a track. It's not just making the music. In the music business, you need to be able to not only produce it, compose it, you need to sell it. And to sell it, you need to show it as an image. So this specific track kind of opened a gate.
Well, take me back to before you decided that you were going to make I Rise. How does this happen? Because let's take you back. Okay, you grow up, you stop taking piano lessons.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly.
And you start doing sports and other stuff, and you go on to a life of real estate, I think.
No, I was actually business management.
Business management.
Business
My
management. So I went to university, and then I finished high school. I didn't know what to study, so I continued studying English and computers because that's actually the best thing I could have done. Like English and computer back then, it wasn't that big of a deal. But now, what would have I done without that? So after a year of working and studying that, I went to study business management. And I used to study on Saturdays, and from Monday to Friday I used to work. So I was working in one city and then taking the bus on Friday night to study all day Saturday and going back to the other city to continue working.
Wow, what discipline.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then one day I was like done with Córdoba, the city. I said, I can't live here. I feel rotten inside. I can't be me.
It's kind of small, right?
It's kind of small, and I couldn't be me.
Yeah, and I always say, you have to leave the place you grew up to grow up.
You need to fly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went into the hotel business in Playa del Carmen. I started working for a hotel, and my career was basically from 1999. February 14th, 1999 is the day that I stepped the first time I got to Playa del Carmen. So, and I spent 10 years as a hotelier, and I even reached the point of being the director of operations of a very nice hotel. And that's when I started like handling musicians or working with musicians and acrobats and shows and blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to be a general manager. Don't get me wrong. I was like fine being the hotel business, but...
Well, you kind of represent the boss, You
yeah,
can get shit done.
Yeah, I am still. So I have that. I'm an artist, but I can kick ass.
Well, we'll talk about that because you understand. You're a rare artist that says, okay, if I'm going to really do this, I'm going to do it on the fucking level that, works on every level. Not just produce it from the level of I Rise, Maya Angelou shit, which is deep, and then also make a music video and sell it and make something.
And you need to eat, man. The truth of the matter is, yes, it's beautiful to be an artist and it fills your soul, but you need to fill your stomach. And you need to balance. We are talking about balance, and we need to be a whole being. You need to know all the aspects of the business if you want to succeed.
I don't disagree with you, but we could be here all night arguing about some of this negotiation that happens. But take me back on, okay, so you're managing all these people and all these artists. When does it hit you?
And I said, I want to be a general manager. I'm not getting the GM position here, so I got asked, why don't we start with this production company and we produce events, music and entertainment. Let's just sell music and entertainment services. And I said, you know what? Yes.
Yeah, let me get the fuck out of this
bye.
10-year,
Hasta la vista, baby. Bye, senor. So we started that in 2009, and I started hiring artists, musicians, acrobats, dancers, all sorts of art, music and entertainment for any type of event, corporate, weddings, private, parties, whatever. And then I started hiring DJs.
Okay. And 2009, 2010, it still wasn't like what it is today.
No. And actually, the aha moment for me, it was 2011. I was at an event, and I had this DJ. And I had to be there because he didn't speak good English, so I was doing the MC. So imagine, picture this. The DJ is right here in front of me. I'm behind him. I didn't like him much, to be honest. No, he was a little difficult to deal with, let's put it that way. So I was like behind him, and I was like, literally, I was like, I could do that. Like, I could actually play music. That would be so awesome. I can learn, and I can do it, and instead of paying him and dealing with him, I just deal with myself and pay myself. It was actually, Mandeep, to be honest, I would like to give you such a lovely story. It was a business move for me to become a DJ, but...
I think it went probably deeper. I think it went also deeper.
But it became... Yeah. But I found...
you were maybe in that mindset of business, but I think...
I found my passion.
Yeah.
And when I started doing it, because I hired this DJ from Guadalajara, because I didn't want to do a shitty job, pardon my French.
Yeah, I know. You can swear all the fucking
Oh, I love it. So I started learning, and I didn't have the money. I just had one laptop, and that's the laptop. We love that laptop. One tiny speaker and one controller. That's all I could afford. And we started like doing the lessons, and my first party was my sister's birthday party, which was a success. And then I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna start doing just events. And started from there. And the moment I started doing it for people, I said like, where was I? This is my life. Music. I forgot about you. And I lost you, and then I found you again. And this is where I belong. This is where I belong. That's how I went back to the music business.
That's an amazing story. So not only did you go into the music business and start DJing, you just can't stop.
No.
So
No, I love it.
You also wanted and became a producer
of
of music. You didn't just spin music. What happened there, and first of all, tell me if it's true that you really, how did you find Maya Angelou? How did you find I Rise? Why did you call it this and all of that stuff?
I was working on the track. It was basically around the quartz sample, like ta-da-da-da, because I had first the video idea came and then the music. But then as I was working, I wanted to deliver a message of empowerment. And for some reason I was watching a documentary, and then boom, Maya Angelou pops up. And then Still I Rise. And I was listening to the words, and I started learning about her story, which is unbelievable story.
Powerful story.
Powerful story. I mean, to learn all those books, I'm not speaking, and it was amazing. I was blown away by her.
Her mom as well, what a powerful woman.
Yes. I was blown away, and I read the poem, and I said, I would love people to indirectly, through my music, at least to get a few words of empowerment by this woman, and I wanted her voice. Obviously, this track, I couldn't monetize it because it's just Maya, but it was just like a tribute to her,
Wait, so this is not the track that you made the music video for?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, it is, with your sister dancing. Okay.
Yes, but it's just what in the DJ business we call a bootleg. It's just, you cannot sell it.
Okay. Just to get your name.
Just to get my artistry done. Not everything is about money. Yeah. It's about actually trying to do things and make them and just be respectful to the artist, because you need to clear samples and all that. But it was just like a tribute. And when I presented the video, I actually, to all the attendees, I read the reason why I included Maya Angelou, and everybody was like, oh, of course, and Maya, of course, and they felt empowered by it. So that's when I started feeling like it's not just playing music, it's music with a conscious. You need to be conscious of what you're playing, because you're affecting people with the message and the vibration. And then I started moving towards some other goal, musically speaking, after that. It's just not like random playing music. So that's why I included Maya Angelou.
And so was it house music that attracted you, or what? So once you started, even if it was a business decision and it came to passion and realizing that, oh my God, where have I been for the last 15 years? But you had to be there, because what you took from your business acumen was that I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it well, and I'm going to make a success of whatever you do. And so did you create an album, or is it like just track by track? How do you work?
So far, I haven't made an album per se. I have released only singles The latest one, which is I'm gonna play right at the end of the interview, is Becoming, which is a process. And I have for Becoming, I have like the original version by me and a remix by Aurelio Bonatti, which is a very good producer in Italy. My track was being mastered in Italy. He listened to the track, he liked it, and he reached out. He said, like, can I remix? And I said, of course, man.
Oh, wow.
Feel free to do so. So I'm very. I am in my early stages as a producer. I consider myself more a composer because as a composer, I have more pieces in the piano.
You know, it's okay. I'm going to tell you something about all the famous artists. Jeff Koons doesn't even touch his sculptures. A lot of the painters don't even touch the paintbrushes. You know, in today's world, directing and composing is the art. I mean, I often say it's not on the object on the wall. It's what it took to create that object on the wall, you know, and the ideas behind it. Because people often get stuck on who's the sound engineer, who did this? And I'm
the
like,
techie part.
I did it, you know. I mean, there's a great line by Cecil B. DeMille when asked, so what do you think of Marlene Dietrich? And he said, I am Marlene Dietrich. You know, like I've created the image. I have put her, you know, light behind her head, and I've created and given you what you think is Marlene Dietrich. So I think that that's neither here nor there. I think that people get a false sense of, you know.
There is not one path for everybody. So some people start as a bedroom producers and they become a DJ.
I love that title.
And some people start like a bedroom DJs. Some people are just, I consider more a composer. And not because I have the technicality of it, but I have a connection that you can't explain. I just, for example, one of the ambient pieces that I did, it was actually, I didn't compose, I was dictated. I was in Akumal, I remember perfectly, and then I listened to this track of Cerrone, the producer. It is called Sect du Marrakech. So I was looking at the ocean, and I was in this big house by myself, just trying to connect with the source. And I had my piano, all my gear. Sometimes I just go away and just bring my stuff. So I listened to this track. It was so enigmatic. I got chills, and I swear to God, I felt like somebody was saying, like, go to your piano now, like right now. So I ran to the piano, found like this pad sound, which is cetacean, like dolphins and whales and blah, blah, blah. And then, brrr, and out of that, a 10-minute piece came out.
Wow, do we have that piece?
Yes,
here?
I do have it. It's called Exodus.
Okay, so why don't we go to Exodus? Hear the love and all that you do. We're with Dulce Ruyan right here on Journey of a Life Through Music, Radio Tulum. Yeah, how beautiful. That's just doesn't seem like electronic music to
No.
me. It seems a very classical sort of tone to it.
It is ambient. You cannot catalog it.
Oh yes, I forgot about the ambient genre.
Yeah, yeah. It is actually ambient, but more than that, it carries a frequency of healing. If you listen to that laying down, it will make you feel things for sure.
It does actually. I mean, I just close my eyes and listen to it on my headphones, or listen to it on your headphones, and I mean the birds and the.
The Cetacean is just underwater, and from that track, the image of I did an underwater photo shooting just for the cover art of that piece as well.
Yeah,
in
just all arounder.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I actually have it in my social media, but I'm just floating in the middle of the cenote, and this ray of light is like lifting me out of the water towards the light. And everything came that day when I was inspired. I didn't compose that song. Some source, I was just a channel.
You know, isn't that strange? There's talking about reincarnation, talking about the source. I've been really talking about a sense of faith.
Yep.
You know, really, it's not religious faith, but just there's a... What I've been really thinking about is that through this process, the last 7 months, we've come to realize, or what we've always known, we're afraid to admit, and now have to accept, is that there is randomness, there is nothingness, there is nature can, you know, come and smack us in the face at any given time, and she is our, you know, mother and our mistress and our ruler.
It's a true religion, Mother Nature.
Yeah, I mean, that is the religion, but I've also been thinking about that acceptance of randomness, but along with the opulence and the radiance, because we are sort of connected to a higher existence, and that comes through a faith of sorts, you know, that you got to have, and it does remind me of that sort of space in between the lines.
I think the vision right now is shifting. We are slowly realizing that we are more transcendental than we think.
Oh, what a great word. I love that
Yeah,
word.
it's not about religion. It's about transcendentalism. We are beyond this.
You know, what I think is that we've lost religion. I think in the last 10 years, religion has gone out the window for most people, even if the ones were, you know, completely like Jesus or Muhammad or whatever. I think for general public, you know, it's gone out the window, but people have adapted different kind of religions, you know.
Because it
I'm a
doesn't work
yoga
anymore.
person, I'm, you know, but what we're kind of saying here is I think that the faith you shouldn't lose, but maybe lose the crutch, you know, so to speak, I think.
I don't think you need the middleman.
Yeah, you don't need
You
the
don't
middleman.
need. That's why religions don't work anymore as much. And I'm very respectful to everybody's set of beliefs, because if it works for you and it makes you be a good person, go for it. Yeah. But for me, coming from an upbringing of being a Catholic, what I can tell you is I don't agree with being punished or think that I'm a sinner and I need to go tell a priest my sins and I can be forgiven and then I go to heaven. I don't buy that. That doesn't apply anymore. No. And Adam and Eve and the apple, please. Like
the woman came out of the rib of the man.
Yeah. So that's why the mind... humankind and the collective mind has evolved. That's why it doesn't apply anymore. Doesn't apply. People are skipping the middleman. I don't need a church. I don't need a priest. I can go directly to my source because I am everything there is.
Yeah, but they've leaned on now Tim Robbins and Deepak Chopra. They've become their priests. But anyway, that's a whole other story. People are always leaning on something. You know, Tulum is a prime example of that bullshit that we can buy experience, that we can buy. It's the work that we do that will lead us. And it is only through the darkness you will get to the light. The more you go through yourself and your demons, you will find that light which you are connected to, I believe,
yes,
in a wholehearted way.
And in nature.
Yeah, and also doing, like your example, you know, you choose what you want to do, and you go and you live your dream. And that is the way to get to faith. You know, that's when the angels, if you want to use a Catholic terminology, that's when the angels open up and take you swimming in the ocean without even knowing it.
But they don't teach us fulfillment, Mandip. If in school or in religion they would teach us, or they would encourage us to fulfill our dreams, this world would be happier. But we are taught fear.
Yeah. You're taught.
And we are taught that we do not deserve things. So how are you going to achieve fulfillment if we are bombarded by be scared, eat, purchase things, and you don't deserve it, and then go somewhere else outside yourself to ask for forgiveness, pray one Virgin Mary and Padre Nuestro, Holy Father, and then you are saved. Guadalupe. Yeah, well, you will never be a happy person, a being, if you don't fulfill your goals in life.
Yeah, goals, or just try, you know, even if the dreams are wrong, if, you know, anything you can envision, I think.
Yeah.
And if you make a choice and you're responsible for your own fucking choice,
exactly,
you will lead a life of fulfillment. Because then you can teach your children, you won't continue the pattern, because if we teach our children that if you make your choice, you have to live with it, and that's the only way to live. It's going to be a better world.
Of course.
It's a pretty simple equation, and I, like you said earlier, that we have evolved to understand that there is no gods, there's no homes, we're all in the same fucking boat, whatever color, creed, or country you're from. But we can't seem to, you know, maybe they say that it's just at this time that everything is exploding, and it's the end of everything and the beginning of something new. I don't believe that. I think it's going to be a slow-moving pattern. But we're moving off the subject of,
we're very, very,
you know, of
holistic right now.
I got you. So why don't we play another song? Because we are, how long is your set? An hour?
An hour, yeah.
Okay, so we got 10 more minutes before they turn off the lights.
So let me select the good ones. Why don't we move forward a little bit, because I have the piano one, which is 2, but I'd like to skip a little bit of that and go directly to my aha moment, electronically speaking.
Oh, hear the love in all that you do.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go straight to Tulum.
All right.
Now that we are here. For some magical hand, found myself here in Tulum, and
Wait, can we just, sorry, I just want to honor Playa del Carmen and what it was and when you arrived, because I sort of arrived in 2001.
To Playa?
To Playa.
Oh, really?
And it was a magical place, just like Tulum is to... Well, Tulum is no longer that anymore either, but anyway, go ahead. I just wanted to give...
So, do you want to go back to Playa del Carmen? Well,
No. I just wanted to give the honor of the 500-meter beach and Om and how magical Fifth Avenue really used to be. And
don't get me wrong. I owe everything I became thanks to Playa del Carmen and Riviera Maya, and I love Playa del Carmen.
All right, hear the love.
Yes.
So talk to me about Tulum.
Tulum. But Tulum was a glue, was a connector of my sound as a DJ. It was the element that brought the ancestral, the Afro, because I evolved my sound not to the house, but to the tribal, to the Afro, to the percussive. But I also was very drawn to the ancestral. And when I found Tulum, and then I started listening to this eclectic mix of music, it all made sense. It all made sense, and I said, okay, this is what I had missing. So I remember one of the first gigs that I did was in Coco Tulum in Paraidolia, which is it was by Visa Sonica, Vigor Marijuana, blah, blah, blah. So I was going...
those Sundays.
Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to go
there. Before the cartel started selling a lot of drugs.
I didn't want to say that.
Well, they did, and they shut that party down.
But I missed that so much. But I was just a party going there, and I loved it. And then I was able to play there, and that's how I found my niche. But I didn't become Tulum, full Tulum. I still have my Afro. Tribal.
Soul, tribal.
Yes, I'm very Afro. But one of the mystic tracks that I love, and it was actually the opening track of that set of that Sunday, my very first gig in Tulum was this one. It's called Mumbai Theme.
All right, here we go. We're taking you all the way to India with Mumbai Theme and back to Tulum with Dulce Ruyan. Journey of a Life Through Music, Radio Tulum.